In the next 30 days, you will quantum leap into an amazing new reality if you follow what I'm about to teach you in this video using neuroscience and manifestation. My name is Giselle Baumet. I'm a neuroscience master's grad candidate and a hypnotherapist. I work with women every single day to unlock their abundance by removing the blocks that prevent it. There are parallel realities. Right now, in this very moment, as you're listening to this, there is a version of you who's living your ideal life. At this time, right now, she's living that life. You are able to quantum leap into her life to be the new observer, meaning you now become that version, living that reality. Time is a human construct. 30 days really means nothing, but 30 days sometimes is easier to take on and receive as possible than if I was to tell you, you could do it right now, because that's the truth. You actually could do it instantly. It's based on how much you believe it to be so. So if you need to make 30 days, 60 days, do that. But just know, it's just a number. It can happen at any time. Everyone focuses on the law of attraction. However, the law of attraction simply states that like attract like. It's based on your frequency, meaning in the frequency that you currently are, you will attract within that frequency. So if you happen to live in a frequency where there's scarcity, where that is your mindset, you will attract scarcity. If you happen to live in a frequency where there's never enough, you will attract never enough. The key is moving you rapidly into a new frequency. Think of realities as frequencies. Think of the frequency as the feeling. So in order for you to rapidly quantum leap, we're going to focus on the feeling. Your first step to this process, I want you to write a day in the life of that version of you that's currently living that reality. I want you to write how she wakes up. What does she think about when she wakes up? How does she feel when she wakes up? What are some of the practices that she does in her morning routine when she wakes up? I want you to write down, how does she flow during the day? How does she handle challenges when they come her way? Most likely, she receives them with excitement. A new way for me to level up. And then very, very importantly, after you write this down, I want you to read it. And I want you to establish, what's the feeling of that life? What does that life feel like? Give it 3 words if you can. It might be, it feels like excitement. It feels peaceful. It feels joyful. I want you to just write down 3 words of what that life is. Next, I want you to, on a daily basis, spend 2 to 3 minutes visualizing that day. Visualize that day that you wrote down, but you're tapping into those 3 feelings that define that day. And just bring that to mind. Feeling the feeling, very important. Feeling the feelings of that visual every day, 2 to 3 minutes. Next, I want you to tap into that version of yourself. She exists right now. So I want you to tap into that version. When you are visualizing that day, ask her, what decisions did you make that led you here? And wait to receive. You will tap into that energy because you are part of the greater consciousness. She's part of the greater consciousness, and everything's happening at the same time. It's happening right now. So you're just channeling into her like a phone call, and she will tell you what decisions led her there. It might just be one. You might just receive one each time that you ask. When you receive it, you will follow it. You will follow it. There will come a time that it will require you to make a big action. That almost always happens when you rapidly quantum leap. There's a big action. You might have fear around that action. Remember, the current version of you is uncomfortable with moving out of that frequency. It sometimes wants to stay in it. But that big action, when you do it, regardless of the fear, you leap. You leap. You begin the process of increasing the frequency to get closer to that current reality that's happening right now. Take the big action. Then I want you to have for yourself ways to calm your nervous system. Because remember, this current version sometimes doesn't want to leave the reality. It's comfortable in it, even if it's not working. It wants to stick to those old stories. Let's calm her a little bit. Nervous system regulation. When you feel uncomfortable, when you feel unease, when you feel doubtful, spend a few minutes doing breath work. Just a few minutes. Very simple one. In for 4, hold it for 4. Out for 4, hold it for 4. In for 4, hold it for 4. Out for 4, hold it for 4. Do that until you feel back to grounding, and then continue. Quantum leaping is in your tools of magic. It's something that you can do at any time. You will raise your frequency through tapping in to her at this moment, through the writing that you do, through the visualization that you do, and most importantly, through the actions that you take and following them, regardless of the doubts, the fears, or the discomfort, because you know you've tapped into intuition. Let me help you even more. Come into my manifestation activation community, because I give you a 14-day challenge that you can hear when she tells you what to do. And then the next 7 days, I increase your frequency. On a daily 5-10 minutes, you're increasing your frequency. And when those two frequencies match, quantum leap, you merge. Because you are majestic. You're way more powerful than you realize. And I cannot wait for you to realize it.